Hello, 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 my angels, my loves. Thank you for joining me on Guided Leap of Faith. I'm going to do something a little different today. I want to make this reading actually for the collective, okay? And I guess you guys probably say, well, you feel like they're all about the collective. But when I say I'm going to do a reading on, if I can get this camera going, on the collective, this is going to be for the collective and you having a voice, okay, on what you want to say to the person on your mind, not only for the person on your mind, but even maybe for the person, the third party, or the person who's listening, the cross watcher, okay? An opportunity for you to speak your piece. You've done some healing work. You've gone through a lot. You've done a lot of healing. If I can get my camera right. Okay, can you guys see that? You've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of healing. Look, I've turned my light over here to pink to show that we are healing. We've come through a lot now, okay? It had been yellow. Yellow was, our source of power, our solar plexus. Now we're with our pink out here, okay? So what I want to do is gonna come through a lot, and I want to ask God that you come with me. I'm gonna pull a lot of cards and a lot of different things. So God, use my body as a tool. Be with me today. I call on you to help me with the collective on their healing journey. If there's someone that needs to hear a message, that you guide them to my channel to hear the message. Um, God, you know my story. You know my journey. You know that I'm the collective as well, okay? I ask that you use me as the tool, as being as part of the collective, as using my journey, my story, to be authentically myself, okay? To be a guide for those going through the healing journey, as my archangel, as my ancestors, as my spirit team, to be present, okay, to help me to use my intuition in reading the cards, to protect me as I read the cards. Not only reading the cards that I myself have created, just in my intuition, okay, and getting the downloads to speak to you. Okay, let me turn this down. What you hear is not actually music, but frequency. It's frequency for the third eye, okay, in the background, okay? So I turn it down because it's my frequency music, actually, that I'm channeling. I'm channeling my third eye. All right, so again, I'm doing something different. So what I'm going to pull now is the energy, to pull the energy for today. And let's see, how is the collective feeling that they're going through their healing? I feel like they've come a long way. I think that they've moved forward where they stand and as to where they were. I feel like some of the collective are starting to hear from the past. I think that the people in the past are maybe reaching out, if not reaching out, thinking about the collective, okay? Um, so what is it that the collective would like to say? I feel like they are at peace with some parts and with some people of their past. Okay, let's see where the collective are, where the collective is in their place, in their heart, with people of the past. Contract. Okay, it's a 6. It talks about partnerships. It talks about choices. Okay. It also speaks about love partnerships and choices, contracts. So some of you, can you see? Do I need to bring this up? Okay, let's try to bring this up so you can see. Some of you, collective, could have gone into a partnership. Some of you might be looking at wanting to enter a partnership or an agreement. Someone in your past may have entered a partnership blind, could have entered a blind partnership or an agreement with someone else, okay? they were supposed to have entered into agreement with you, and they did not. They entered into a blind partnership or an agreement with someone else. It could be business. It could not. It could be romantic. Okay, but they took a leap of faith. Um, with the justice scales being here as well, something's unbalanced, and something was imbalanced in the relationship that you had, okay, with the person that's on your mind. Because we're reading for you today and your energy, you feel like what the partnership that you had was unbalanced, okay? You feel like it was not give and take at all. You feel like you poured into it, you gave your heart, you put a lot of energy into it, and you feel like what you put into it, you did not get back. You feel like you blindly gave into a situation that did not give into you, whether it was a home, a job, a marriage, a long-term agreement, even if it was a casual agreement, even if it was a business that you feel like you gave into. You feel like it was unequal give and take, okay? I feel like part of you feel like it was a casual agreement of some sort. You feel like this card feels like it was just ungrounded in some way. I feel like it was meant to be a committed connection. It was meant to be a union, but for some reason it did not turn to that. But I feel like the scales of justice is going to balance something out for you in some type of way. It's going to balance out. The scales of justice is going to balance out for you. It's going to make something work for you. It's going to balance out for you. Even though it didn't work out for you, it is going to, because you have the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel out here. Okay, and Archangel Gabriel is a messenger of God. He helps to communicate the truth. He helps you to receive the truth. He brings you divine messages, okay? He guides you. He brings insight. Yeah. He helps with parents and would-be parents, people who are trying to get pregnant, all right? But he does bring divine messages and guidance, so he does help to bring clarity and wisdom, and he helps a lot with bring messages from the other side. And this also talks about the throat chakra, what expressing yourself and communicating, and with 9, 10, 11, 12. So he does help with fertility. So with people who may be trying to get pregnant or want to have a child or could be expecting, so I feel like this makes a lot of sense, okay? Because I did say what I'm doing today is working on you getting the truth out there, you wanting to say, you wanting to express to the other person how you feel, okay? So with the 5th chakra, with this being the throat chakra, okay? So I feel like a lot of you collective want to express to the person that you were in I can't even get it out. See, this is the problem. You know, there is, you do feel like you held a lot back. Like you had a problem communicating. Like you feel like you had no voice. I feel like you had no voice, okay? And this is why I feel like I can't get it out. And me personally, I don't stutter. I say what it is. I speak my mind, okay? But in this situation, I feel like you felt like you couldn't speak the truth for so long. Maybe you didn't want to hurt someone's feeling. Maybe you felt lost. Maybe you felt like you didn't have power in the relationship, okay? This is the problem. You held on, and maybe it's because you gave so much to this person, and this person had so much control. You were blinded, and this what made this so unfair, the relationship you were in. They took from you, okay? This person really gaslighted you, the person you were with. They took a lot of your value. They took a lot of your self-worth. They took a lot of your power. They didn't make you believe in yourself. They robbed you. They made you feel so insecure. They made you feel like, and a parent maybe could have made you feel like your voice didn't matter, like you didn't matter, okay? Like what you said, your words didn't matter, like you were useless. And in here now, you're ready to say, you're ready to be seen. You're ready for your voice to matter. You're ready to let them know. You're ready to speak the truth. You want them to know that you did see things in a relationship. You want to know that you saw them. You're ready to be heard. You have Gabriel in here, okay? Gabriel has a lot of wisdom. He speaks the truth. He aids in writing. He aids in teaching. He helps you with the parent. He helps you to get the word out. He shares the light. He is divine insight. Okay, so that's perfect that he's out here. You wanting to express yourself. He helps you to communicate to others and communicate to the person you're with. You're using wisdom now. You're seeing things clear. You saw a lot of things clear in the relationship. You want to let them know, that you're using your intuition. You used your intuition when you walked away from their relationship. Okay? You used your insight. You did a lot of thinking. And that's what made you go into closure. You did a lot of thinking about yourself. You saw a lot of things that were wrong. Whatever happened, it was you going within. It was you using your intuition that made you decide that you had enough. The cycle needed to come to an end. Okay? You found your voice. You found your voice and you communicated that you were done. You were done. You were only one carrying the relationship. You weren't in the dark anymore about what was going on. You spoke up. You spoke your truth. You got clarity. You had the vision. Your spirit guides help you see things clear. Help you see that you weren't being treated fairly. That you were in the dark about a lot of things. You were fed illusions. They help you see that there were a lot of other opportunities for you, that you didn't have to settle for less. Okay? They help you to see that the door was opening for you, that you had many other blessings coming for you, many other choices for you. You didn't have to settle for that. They help you see that your person was entertaining other possibilities, that you're being treated like an option. They wanted you to walk away, to go towards other opportunities. Your spirit guides came in to help you. Okay, with the community being out here, your angels were around, your spirit guides, your ancestors that passed over were around. They were sent to you. They were sent to you to help you see things, to help you speak. So let's see, you want to tell your person that you want to see what was going on? You want your person to know what all you saw, the secrets that they kept from you, what you saw, what happened in a relationship. Like they were playing you. Let's let your person know. with the things that you held back, the things that you didn't share, the things you went along with. Tell me about blind contract, the unequal give and take. What is it about partnership, contract? Spirit guys, tell me about contract. Is this the collective time to speak to their person on their mind? Tell me about contract. What do you want to say? Yeah. You want to say you're letting go. You're moving on. You want to say that you've done some personal growth. You've done some personal growing. You know that you carried the relationship for a long time. You gave a lot. You gave a lot of your energy, a lot of your love. You gave a lot of trust. And you're ready to move on. You took all that you could. It took a lot for you to move on from that relationship. Things were not balanced for a long time in the relationship. You were in the dark. You closed your eyes to a lot of things. Yes, there were red flags, but you ignored them. You kept holding on because you saw what this person had the capability of being. And you weren't balanced. The relationship wasn't balanced at all. But you're letting go. What else? What else can you tell me about contract? This was a spiritual contract between you and this person. And you saw that. You saw that there was a spiritual contract. And that's what you were holding on. And that's what you kept giving in. Because you were hoping that eventually that they were going to carry their weight. But they never balanced the scales. You were manifesting a new beginning for yourself. You were trying to manifest a new beginning. You thought that if you kept holding on, that things would get better, but they didn't. You were working on yourself. While you were in this relationship, this unbalanced relationship, you were working on yourself. You were healing yourself. You were manifesting a new beginning. You were building up your confidence to let go, to move on. Tell me about fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Tell me about fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Spirit guides. Thank you. Yeah. You're refusing to face the pain. You're avoiding confrontation. That's why you didn't speak up. You didn't speak up and tell the person on your mind what all you were going through. You were keeping the peace because you were avoiding confrontation. You weren't learning your past mistakes. That's why you held in there. You stuck in there for a while because you were prolonging it. You knew it was going to hurt to walk away, so you were prolonging the heartache of walking away. You knew it wasn't working for you. You knew this person wasn't giving you what you need, but you loved them so long for so much. You loved them. You knew they had the potential to be the person you wanted them to be. And even though you weren't happy, you just didn't want to argue with them. But you were healing. You were doing the inner work. You were healing. Okay? You just wanted harmony. You wanted things to balance out. You wanted there to be temperance. But you were healing yourself the whole time. And you knew that eventually you were going to walk away because you were getting tired. You knew that you deserved more. You knew that you were somebody that was abundant, You knew that what you deserve was somebody who saw you as being abundant, as being loving, as being nurturing. Okay? Because what we have here is the Nine of Pentacles. You knew you needed somebody who saw you as self-sufficient, as financially independent, as material comfort. Spirit guides told you that this person didn't see you as that. This person, that's all they saw when they saw you. They just saw you as a financial comfort. Somebody that could help them out in a situation. They didn't see you as loving. They didn't see you as being a Queen of Hearts. They just saw you as somebody who can help them out. Somebody that can give them what they needed. An option. They wanted to use you. They wanted to take advantage of you as a financial opportunity. That person had many options, and you knew that person saw you as that. Okay, you want that person to know that you knew that they saw you and they wanted to use you for money, for comfort, for material comfort, for a place to lay their head, to come to you when they needed something. But when you gave them what they needed, whether it was love, whether it was energy, whether it was money, then they would go out to their other options. Okay? That your spirit guide was telling you that. Your spirit guide was telling you that. You want them to know that they made you feel like you were out in the cold. That they made you feel isolated. They made you feel insecure. That's what you want your person to know. You want your person to know that you knew that they were out there entertaining other options. You want your person to know that a lot of times they had you in your head dealing with anxiety, worry. Your person made you feel depressed, wondering if they loved you, why they would hurt you. You want your person to know that you knew they were communicating with other people. Okay? That's what you want. You want your person to know that you knew what they were up to. Even when you were there being loyal, when you were being true, when you were being faithful, because you thought that that person was your emperor. You thought that they were your emperor. You thought that they were going to give you a stable relationship. They were going to be the leader in your life. They were going to be a man of authority because they gaslight you. You thought you were going to have a stable relationship. Okay? But they didn't. You were waiting for that. But instead, they were greedy. They were selfish. They were stingy. They were exploiting you. They made you feel lonely. They caused you to go in and withdraw. They left you feeling confused. They didn't know what they wanted. They left you feeling like with indecision of what should you do, should you say, should you hold on. They didn't know what they wanted. They didn't know if they wanted you, if they wanted someone else. They had many options that they were entertaining. And you knew this. Okay? You knew this. You want your person to know that you knew this. You reached a point where you lacked faith in the relationship. You were discouraged. Okay? But guess what? A sudden change happened. You had a realization. You had a revelation. And when you had that revelation, you got the strength. You said no more. No more. You got the courage to get up from that relationship. Okay? You said you will no longer put me in competition. You will no longer abuse your power with me. Okay? You want this person to know. Let's see. What about this person? Who was this person? Who was this person, collective? Let's see if we can personalize this person, because this is your chance. Your chance, collective, to say what you want to say to this person. Your opportunity. You want your person to know how you felt. You want your person to know that you weren't, they thought you were slow. They thought you were stupid. They thought that they were playing in your face and you didn't know what the hell was going on all along. So you want this person to know, yeah, no, I knew all of this was going on. You know, you want this person to know that you're spiritual. Okay? So yes, you knew this stuff was going on. You could have been a water sign. You could have been a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Okay? You could have had a cat. Or you could have, but you being spiritual, they say cat see things, cat know things, cat can sense things. You could have been very sensitive to knowing that something was going on, okay? You could have known that this person had a baby on the way, had a baby on you, had somebody pregnant. This person could have wore glasses, could have wore shades, could have wore contacts. Your person could have liked to sing. Your person could have been envious, or could have had a third party that was envious. Your person could have been moody. Your person could have been biracial. Your person could have had the initials V, W, X, F, B, or could have been had a third party with those initials. Okay? Your person could have been involved with a stripper. Your person could have been a construction worker or worked at a construction site. Okay? Your person could have had the nickname Red, dealt with somebody, red hair, red car, red truck. Okay? Could have had a friend named Red. Your person could have had a silver car, silver truck. Okay? Your person could have had like a Donald Duck complex, impatient, angry, short-tempered. 70s could have meant something. Could have been born in the 70s. Okay? Your person could be receiving unemployment checks or involved with somebody who received unemployment checks. Your person could wear work boots. Your person could tow cars, have a tow truck, needs to have their car towed. Alright, these are some things that could have been about your person. This person that left you in your head, played mind games with you, acted like they were going to be the emperor in your life. Okay? Somebody who wanted to use you for your material comfort. Somebody who wanted to just come in and out, tell you, oh, I need to get this, can you give me some money? Somebody who saw you were abundant and independent and self-sufficient and liked that about you and used you. Okay, somebody who could have been an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Somebody who broke your heart. Okay, somebody who was always taking from you. Yeah, somebody who you knew was entertaining other people, left you out in the cold. Someone who left you feeling anxiety, depressed. Someone that had you feeling discouraged. Somebody who treated you like a mistress. Yeah, somebody who abused their power with you. Somebody who was ignoring your phone calls when you would call them. Yeah, that person. Someone who could have had a deceased mother, an air sign with a deceased mother, who has codependent and has the fear of being abandoned. Somebody who has impulsive behavior. Maybe somebody who even burns their trash. Okay? Maybe that. Maybe somebody with a baby mama. Somebody who could have stayed in South Carolina or lives in South Carolina. Somebody who could have stayed on the west side. Someone who could have done electrical work, or could be an electrician. Somebody who says they're lazy and want to be taken care of. Makes sense, because they saw you as being abundant and wanted to feed off of you, take advantage of you, wanted to be in your material comfort. Let's just get a few more of these and then go into some other things about this person. Yeah, this person was jealous of you. See, it says jealous. Somebody who was jealous of you. Somebody who was doing some online dating as well. Yeah, but you knew these things, see? These are some things that you knew about this person. Somebody who lied on you. I mean, lied about you. I'm sorry. They lied about you. Yeah, they probably lied. Lied and say you were lying about them. Yeah, lied about you, saying nah, they didn't mess with you. Y'all were just friends. They ain't have no feelings for you. They ain't see you like that. You goody. Nah, probably you were too bougie. You know, you were too this, you were too that. You too needy. Don't tell them what they said. You complain too much. You think you too good. You know, don't tell them what they say. You know, because usually, you know, when you're in high vibration and you got your shit together and they don't, you know, they always got it. When they're envious, they always got to say something like that. You know, like you think you're too good for anybody, or you're too bougie, or, you know, they got to find something think they're putting you down, you know, something. So they probably said something like that. No, yeah. So I'm not telling what this person said. We have Sun. This person was in their core identity, their ego, okay? They were more concerned about their ego and their self-awareness, how they look to the people, what their friends thought about them, okay? This keep wanting to come out. 30s. So this person could have been in their 30s, all right? 30s does talk about pregnancy, so this person could have got somebody pregnant, definitely, or somebody could be pregnant, or somebody could be working on a new beginning. Okay, so let's put this deck out. Let's see. What is it? So what exactly was going on in this person's environment? That collective that you probably knew. What was going on that you probably already knew, that they didn't know that you knew about? See, watching stuff go down, watching shit go down, enjoying the gossip. Yeah, you knew things were happening in this person's life. What kind of stuff was going on that you knew? You knew this person was angry. Yeah. You knew this person had anger management issues. You knew this person was going through a divorce, or going through some type of breakup, or breaking some type of contract with somebody else. So you knew this person got into something that was failing, that wasn't working, and you was just watching it go down because you knew it wasn't going to work from the get-go. Maybe they went for a job and the job didn't work out. Maybe they couldn't pass the damn drug test and they had to lose the job. Maybe they went to room with somebody and the roommate situation didn't work out. Somebody putting on a show. Yeah, somebody's just want to be in the limelight. Either you're a person putting on a show, or they were involved with the female and she put on the show. She was so dramatic. He done pissed her off and she broke up with him, and she just really put on the show for the streets. Private relationship. Yep, kept your relationship a private, was in another private relationship that they kept from you and you knew about it. What else did you know? You want to let this person know? Yeah, you can play tell. They think they're keeping secrets from you, like you stupid and don't know what the hell going on. You know they involved with a bugaboo, got a private relationship with a bugaboo. Police probably getting called in because they messing with trash, and that person putting on a show and dramatic and toxic. Yeah, game over. that relationship coming to an end. You call games over because they broke your heart, and now you really don't care what they have going on. You know they got sex addictions. They probably messing with the same sex, probably having orgies, sleeping with 2 and 3 people at a time, probably have some type of sex infection from messing around these sex shops. Okay. Sexual protection. Yep. So they probably caught something messing around with prostitutes. They're probably hooking up with prostitutes over there. There might be police is coming on the sex shop, so police might be watching them because who knows? They could be getting young girls, okay, sex trafficking at these sex shops. They're doing drugs. That's what they're doing. And they have fake apology. So they probably gave fake apology to some of these, to this Bugaboo, because Bugaboo probably asked about you because I lied about you. Bugaboo probably asked them if they were talking to you, and they lied about you and said no, and probably gave the Bugaboo the fake apology about you. Not necessarily giving you a fake apology, probably gave them a fake apology. No, I apologize. I'm sorry, I wasn't talking to her, that bougie girl. Look, now they feeling depressed. They feeling depressed. Had you feeling depressed? They're depressed because everything blowing up in front of their face. You know, nothing ain't working out for them. I bet they don't have nothing. See, they got to check themselves. They got to check themselves because they've been at the sex shop. That's why they got to check themselves. They got to check themselves because it's Bugaboo. They have pregnancy coming out here. They may have a baby, may or may not be over them. Okay, they may be going through a divorce. But meanwhile, you know, you had to go in. And, well, let's see before we get into what you had to go in and do. Let's see. Let's see what you already know. What you knew about them that they thought you didn't know. They thought they were hiding. What was going on with you about all of this? When you were quiet, when they thought you were naive and dumb, but you were doing in silence. Yeah, you knew they were hiding and concealing something, but you remained quiet about it, and you were playing dumb and doing your research and just healing yourself. That's what you were doing. You were allowing them to be deceptive, because you don't need to tell a person everything. You don't need to let them know that you aren't to them. You were exhausted. When you saw them burnt out because they were trying to hide things, when you saw them feeling empty, you just sat back there and you watched them. You watched them. You knew they were involved with the psychopath, an abusive psychopath. You saw them going through it. You just laughed to yourself. See? Where was that? What? Enjoying gossip? You just sat back and laughed to yourself and just knew that was their karma. You enjoyed your popcorn. You saw them living in the moment. That's why they weren't returning your calls. When they weren't returning your calls, you weren't even playing on their phone trying to find out why. Because you knew they were out there living in the moment, having good vibes. Yeah. And you knew there was a narcissist. You knew he was egotistical. He was an opportunist. That's why he was with you for your material comfort, because he was an opportunist. When he couldn't get his way, he was in his feeling, his acting antisocial, feeling left out. He felt left out when you left him. He felt left out when he was going through this breakup. Yeah. He knew you were established, secure, wealthy. What else? Yeah, now he knows he burned the bridge with you. He burnt the bridge with you, and he's feeling paranoid. Okay? He knows that you're moving on with somebody else. A masculine, a father figure, somebody you can count on, somebody that's going to be there for you. Someone that's going to balance you out. Be that masculine energy to allow you to be in your feminine energy. Roman, to allow you to be in your feminine energy. He wants a second chance for you, but wishful thinking. He's not going to get it. He's going to have to sit his ass down, continue to be isolated, left alone with his self-inflicted wounds that he called on himself, because you're running. You're running away to your twin flame soulmate. That's where you're running to, okay? You're ghosting him. You're getting far away. This person might live at a distance from you, okay? He made bad decisions. He's continuing a cycle. He's dealing with his addictions. You've let go. You've cleared your mind. You're breathing. You're on a glow up. Okay, or new career, new opportunities are coming in for you. You've got your head in the clouds. You're dreaming. You have your hopes and dreams. Now this two-faced, arrogant person is just sitting back. Look at you. Wanting to get away on a vacation. Nurturing yourself, mentoring other people. Giving back to the community. Following your dreams. You've gone through a lot. You've done through a lot, collective. You've gone through a lot. Let's see. Ooh, just flew out. Yeah, you did your shadow work. You're out here doing your shadow dance. You're so happy. You're doing you found your rhythm. You're out here dancing. You're moving. You're opening up. You're healing. You're supporting other people. You're being seductive and alluring. You're drawing in you're getting attention from other people. Putting a little lipstick on, a little lip gloss. Doing a little something different with your hair. You're living your purpose. Being empathetic to other people's needs. I feel like 2 or 3 more. Yeah, what else? What do we have out here? The unknown. You have surrendered. You have surrendered to God. Okay, you've given everything to Him. You're walking in faith now. Okay. You're with the battle within. You've battled the inner conflict you had. You've resolved it. You're no longer holding anything inside. You're open. You're being receptive to whatever comes. You're going day by day. You have forgiven yourself. You have forgiven that person. You release everything. You're harboring no more resentment. You have serenity now. You're being creative. You know, there's no emptiness about you. You're in your girl power. Great for you. Let's get a loving message. Let's just give this person a loving message. Let them know. It's no hate. Let them know you don't hate them. You know if they're a sick individual, they're going to repeat a cycle. They're going to get karma. They're unhealed. We have a loving message for them. Because we're giving love. That's how we're healing. We're giving love. Your loving message is transform. Transform. And then you have Teddy Bear and the Runner. So you're telling them to transform. Stop running. Let go. And go out and date. That's what you need to do. Sudden change. There's a sudden change. Stop running. Stop running from the fear of intimacy. Go out and date. What is it? What is it you want to say to them? One more thing you want to say to them. I was the emotional backbone of this relationship. Yes, you were. You didn't break me. You just taught me how to stand alone. I remember when I was the hero of your story. Now I'm the villain. Yeah, because you know what? Now that you've moved on, like this person, when they first met you, they bragged about you. They told everybody about how great you were. They talked you up so well. How much they wanted to be with you, how great you were. But you know what? As time went on and you started wanting the best of them, and they started showing more of who they were, their negative side, and you start catching them in their lies and everything, at that point You were no longer the great person. You were no longer the hero. You start becoming the villain because their mask starts slipping off. So yeah, now that you separated, you're not a hero in their life anymore. I can tell you that. Let's get a few more. See what else. I made peace with my past traumas and healed. Yes, you did, collective. You have healed. This reading has shown that. I am no longer the person I used to be. I've elevated to higher levels. I know my self-worth. You just didn't see it. Yes. I think we'll end right there. We'll end right there. So collective, that's the reading for today. That's the reading on how you feel, how you've grown. You've had your peace to express to yourself, to them. I am so happy of your growth. You have healed. You have been through a lot. This person is going to continue to go through cycles until they do their healing. Just wish them well, wish them peace. Do not feed them your energy. If they come back crawling saying they need you, it's 45 because they're coming, just at the door. I'm sorry. I'm working on myself right now. I send you prayers, light, and love. And that's it. Thank you for coming on to Guided Leap of Faith. If you like what you heard here today and it resonates with you, time is fluid. Today, tomorrow, next week. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.